Yeah, we know it's been a minute. Um,
Yes, it's been a,
yeah, it's been a
it's
minute.
been a minute.
Uh,
We needed a timeout. We had a lot of things going on in our household, a lot of moving parts. 2020 caught up in here, and so just like all of you all trying to make it out there for 2020, turning into 21, we had to take a break too. So,
yeah, we needed a mental break.
hmm
There was just so much going on, and you know, me mentally, just political with the world, just everything going on. We just needed a break. We needed to focus on our son. I think things caught up with him emotionally because we've been doing distant learning with him, and we've been um, we interacted with some of our friends with their kids and stuff, but not like we used to, and that had impacted him. So we needed to really just focus on us and our family.
yeah.
So that's why it has been a minute, and then we all caught coronavirus. Um, Eric
Yeah,
is a firefighter, so he caught it from work
I brought it home.
right
Everyone else
after his
got sick.
birthday.
Yep. And right after Pain and I's birthday, and
Yep,
happy birthday.
pretty much. So, and I knew something was off. I was like, I think you're sick. And he's like, no, it's my sinuses. I'm like, no, I don't think it's your sinuses. So yeah, so he caught it first, and we did the whole, he isolated in his man cave, and I was masking up, spraying everything down, and then he got tested to confirm that he had it. Peyton got tested as well. He had it.
hmm
I pretty much knew I had it. And so I think probably a week after he was kind of like quarantined and stuff, then I started to feel bad. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't for us. Thank God, none of us ended up in the hospital. I think we were prepping, so we were taking our zinc and our vitamin D, and just trying to
Vitamin
be
C,
vitamin C, lots of it.
multivitamins,
Yeah, and we
drinking
kept moving.
water.
We kept moving even when we had it. So
Yeah,
we just tried to make sure that we still kept moving, didn't just lay up and stuff. So I'm thankful to God that we made it. We survived it.
definitely. And for myself, my own experience is after a couple of days, I had for a couple of days I had the muscle aches, the fatigue, nothing real heavy hitting. Um, but after that kind of started to subside, I needed to get up and get out, and I know that wasn't get up and get out of my room or out of this house for the safety of my family and others around us. And so I tried to make it a point to read, to learn about finances, try to learn with the guitar and how to play the guitar as these guys are learning. I actually also as well exercised. It was 20, 30 minutes a day. Um, but it was just enough to kind of get my body moving again, um, get my lungs kind of pushing in and air out, get the bad stuff out, get my muscles moving, and mentally, physically, that was probably the best thing I could have done.
Yeah. And we're very grateful to our families, just checking on us, making sure that, all was well. Peyton, the one person, I think for me, I was so concerned because he has asthma. And so I was so concerned about him getting it because they were like underlying conditions, it's the worst. But I think for us, we just did his treatments. So we took the precautions of just, doing his breathing treatments every day, and like I said, vitamin C, vitamin D, all of that stuff. But he was fine. He was still like, he still went to school. Like, of course, we're doing distant learning, so he was still able to do his schoolwork. I think one day he may have had like a fever, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, he was fine. So I think Eric and I were the ones that really we felt it.
We
So
got the crust of it,
yeah,
and
we did.
so
And we were fine with that because I'd rather us get it than for him to be down and out. So
yes,
very thankful.
we felt like, and would you agree? 2020 hit us hard in October. Not that it wasn't hitting us hard, just like all of you guys maybe were experiencing. But I think the biggest thing with that was in October that we did come down with coronavirus. And then at the same time, as I'm quarantined in my room, we're watching the beginning of the election going on.
Yeah.
And the election is the other half of the 2020 mess that we've had to endure. No matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, it was stressful and full of anguish. Understandably, for every American involved that voted, didn't vote, their kids, because there's what 150 million Americans that voted. 154. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
You think about it.
Yeah.
But we got to watch the election from the comfort of our couches, me by myself, and then Peyton and Alicia doing their thing. But so we got to experience 2020 and all its highs and all its lows, all within one period of 2 or 3 weeks in this household.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we needed to take that break, to focus on our families, to focus on our health. But we're coming back at you guys right now.
Yeah, we are. So it was, I don't know, for me, just reflecting, on 2020, for me, I made sure I really, really, to focus on my mental state of being. So I took up a lot of hobbies that perhaps, I really didn't focus on, before, couldn't do before, or didn't really want to do, even though they were hobbies. I wasn't consistent with them. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, get it out, Alicia. But, so I was very consistent, last year with my hobbies. Like Eric said, I picked up learning the guitar. I did well for a little bit. And then I think when everything kind of popped off, that went to the wayside again. So 21, I'm picking that up again. And then Eric and I both started to learn a little Portuguese. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we picked that up, and then gardening. And I will one day show you guys our garden setup, but really picked that up. And so painting, just a lot of things. Reading a lot. So for me, I know a lot of people have really been going through in 2020 and even in 2021. But for me, my reflection of it, we were really, truly blessed. And I say that all the time. And I'm thankful. I learned a lot about myself and a lot about others. And it was healing, self-reflecting. We had a lot of deep conversations in this house about race, about politics, about life, about God. I mean, some really, really deep conversations that I don't think there's ever been. I mean, I think surface, we've talked about a lot of things, but not to the extent that we talked about it last year.
No, definitely. There's a lot of heavy hitting topics that happened outside of our house that forced us to have conversations inside our house.
Yeah.
And some were comfortable and some were, not comfortable.
Yeah.
And so as you noticed, I'm Caucasian. She's African American.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And so we had to face some difficult conversations, especially when our son is a blend of both of us.
Yeah.
And as conflicted as we are, every bit is conflicted. And so.
Yeah, but it was good. It brought us closer together. It brought our family, closer together. So, so that was 2020. And
what about holidays?
Oh, holidays. Sorry.
Yeah.
So holidays really wasn't the same. Every year, either, typically we spend it with my family. We go back to Texas, and we couldn't do that this year. And so that was probably really hard. My mom's here. So, and even just being with her, being able to, go to her house or her come here, we didn't do that. And so that was really, really hard, but we still got to see each other. So, and then Eric had to work both Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I really, really had to make it special for Peyton. I think, what did we do before?
I was off on Thanksgiving.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
It all blended together. What, didn't we do something? I think we did do something. What did we do?
For Thanksgiving, I remember. What did we do?
We did something before Christmas. Didn't we go somewhere?
No.
Oh, well, that's what it was all about. I don't remember. It all blended together. So, anywho, because I'm like, I can't remember, but I did. I know for Christmas, I really wanted to make it special for Peyton, because, and he really, we had a lot of emotional moments, just with him, just because it was so different, and so really had to make it special for him. So we did. So
Yes.
I did. We did.
Yes, he's missing his friends, and so
Family.
I know right now a lot of us parents have kids that are having their kids do distant learning right now, and that's a challenge that we have to face. Not only um, who's going to stay home with our kids while they're doing this, who's going to teach, but also at the same time, what they're missing. The interaction with other kids at their age,
The social
the
aspect
social
of it.
life, the exercise, getting out and exercising. And so those are the challenges that we face in our household as well, that we had to overcome this year.
Yeah, but I think we did a good job. I mean, we made sure we got out and did, activities, things outside the household for his, for all of us, really mentally. And like I said, we would interact with some of his friends, so I tried to do a balance and try to be safe all at the same time, but it's a struggle because he misses it and he needs it, and so and I didn't want to strip it all the way, and he's an only child, so you have to find some type of balance but trying to still be safe. So what for me, what I did was I would just have the kids come to our house, and you follow the rules, take off your shoes, wash your hands and things like that. So I tried to do the best that I can, but he would be happy. And so it was only select few that that would come, one or two, really, one or two. So yeah, so that was pretty much it for that. So now we're go.
No, here we are in the 2021, and 20 rolls right into it. Let me tell you what. So today is January 8th. The incident at the Capitol in DC was just 2 days ago, and so we're talking about trying to move forward and move past all the political strife that both sides, all parties are having. Coronavirus today in Maricopa County, just the county, not the state. There was roughly 9,500 people that tested positive. I don't know what a percentage is, but so the things that captured us and our attention in 2020 is still happening right now. But we're going to try and look forward, right? Are we trying to look forward to what's next?
I am. I mean, overall, I am happy. I truly am. I'm happy as we move forward. But I think it is still a balancing act, because I think when everything was going on with the race in Georgia and then what happened in Capitol, I was like glued to my TV. I had it on, and I never like have the news on all day, in this house, just because it becomes overwhelming. It's too much sometimes. But I was just glued to the TV, and so our son really was impacted by that, and he was very emotional. So even last night we had to sit down and talk about what was going on, and he expressed how he was feeling and how he wanted to know why God allowed such things to go on, and why people were behaving the way that they were behaving. And he's like, Mom, that's not right, and you're not supposed to do those things. And so we had to have that deep conversation again with him. But I told Eric after we had the conversation, I was like, I know for me, I want to be informed. I want to know what's going on. But I think for him, mentally, it's too much. And so I need to be mindful of that. So today, it's none of that today. So no news. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. And so I just, like I told Eric, I think moving forward, I just need to be mindful. We need to be mindful because even at the dinner table, when we're eating dinner, we'll talk about politics. We'll talk about the things that are going on. And so we just need to be mindful
Yeah.
because even though we think that he's, you know, it's going in one ear and out the other, or he's digesting it, because a lot of times he's engaged with the conversation, but I think it impacts him in a totally different way that I wasn't aware of. So, yeah. So, once again, a learning. But besides that, 2021 has started off awesome. I sat down and did my vision board and set my goals, and Eric got me a rower, exercise rower for Christmas, and so that has been my new love. So I've been working out, but yeah, I finished my life coaching certificate certification. So I'm super super happy about that because ultimately, what I would like to do, and Eric and I have been really talking about, is starting our own business of life coaching, mental health. Um, um, Mental health
Well-being.
yeah, well-being. We're still trying to figure it out. We're still in the beginning stages, but
Work home life rehabilitation.
yeah, we don't know. Well, we're gonna figure it all out. But yeah, so I'm truly truly happy, and I've been really just honing in on all of my hobbies, my talents, my skills, doing a lot of painting, instead of so like we had mentioned before, we were doing the Portuguese. I told Eric, I was like, I'm gonna go back to the basics. Eric he can speak Spanish. He's semi-fluent. He can hold a conversation. The times we've gone to Mexico and I'm like, Eric, I really want to purchase this. Can you have a conversation with the person so I can get a good deal on it? And he would do it. He was speaking Spanish, and
Un poco.
yeah. So I told him my goal this year in 21 is I want to learn Spanish. And so that is what I'm doing. So I'm kind of taking a step back, and I think I need to go with something I'm a little bit familiar with, even though Portuguese and Spanish is a little similar. But and Peyton, he has been learning Spanish since kindergarten. Really, we've had him in Spanish. And so I'm going to join the club. So every day for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I listen to Spanish music. I do my Spanish lessons, and so that is what I've been doing. But yeah, I have my goals. I'm excited for 21, and I'm not going to let nothing stop me from achieving my goals. So what about you, Eric?
Wow, so far I've been just working, really. Wish I had a good story about.
You have your goals, because every year I make all of us sit down and write down our goals, what we want to accomplish, and then we reflect on 20, and we do this whole thing. And so this year I didn't force anybody. I brought it up, and I said, I would like everybody to think about their goals for 21. And so it's funny because Peyton just a few minutes ago is like, Mom, do I still have to do my goal? And I'm like, yes, you need to think of something. And he was like, it's the same thing. And I'm like, that's fine. Your goal is about you and what you want to do. And it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be whatever. It is whatever you want to do. So it doesn't have to be 50 or whatever. So.
And it's exciting. Even last year we set our goals, and I highly recommend it because it gives you a bar to reach for in your personal, professional life, whatever you want to achieve, whatever your goals are. But even with last year, with everything going on, I think I listed 5 things. I accomplished 3 or 4 of them.
All of us,
And
actually.
so,
Yeah.
and so it's really, really important that we set those bars so that doesn't allow us to ever be stagnant.
Yeah.
And that can only help in our life as we go forward.
Yeah.
Your marriages, your relationships with your parents, with your friends, with your colleagues, your coworkers, whoever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's important. So like I said, this year it is about growth. Lots and lots of growth for me. I think very professional. It's that's going to be my focus this year. I think for me, it's really I want to be, I'm not going to let anything hold me back, whether it's Corona or whatever. I'm going to move forward. And I'm not looking to, I may have, because I think I have what I have a bunch on my goal list, but my goal is to not just achieve them. I want to be effective. I want to be successful at what it is. I don't want to just mark it off and be like, okay, I achieved that goal. That's awesome, whatever. I want it to be like I achieved it, and this is success I have brought to whatever I achieved. Or like one of the things that I have on there is like I want to be able to continue learning the guitar, but I want to write a song and then I want to be able to play it. So that is my goal this year. So I'm
in Spanish.
Now. I want to write a song and I want to be able to play it. So that is my goal. And so I want to be, and once again, it doesn't need to be a long song. I'm not trying to win a Grammy or anything like that. It's just something personal that I want to do because I know that I can do it. So I think that's important. And it makes me happy when I do it. So yes, I'm excited. I know. Somebody's calling, but that's okay. So anyway, so I think for us, as far as our marriage, what we really want to focus on this year, I think, like I said, last year, we really grew closer, with everything that was going on. And I think that we want to continue to build on that momentum. I think that we want to really just, I don't know. I know we said intimacy, we want to be, because I think for me, sometimes I get into my own little zone or whatever, that sometimes I kind of like, I do for him. I make sure things are taken care of or whatever, but I don't know. I'm in my brain so much, whatever, that I need to sometimes include and have him join in. So I think, I know a lot of stuff I like. He's like, no, you're good. You're okay. But, but yeah, I want to include him in my goals as well. And I do. I have some things on there that I want to make sure, because we didn't do a lot of date nights last year.
Yeah.
And so I want to include those things into our, making sure that we're getting our time in. So I think that is going to be mine.
I love it.
I love it.
I keep my goals private. I apologize.
He doesn't have any. He has one or two, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm like, write them down. He won't write them down. So, but I'm like, you have to write them down so you can reflect.
So yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
yes. Because I like to open it up, and I'm like, look what he did. Look what you achieved. Yeah, that's what I put. Yeah, he's not really trying to do all of that. But so yeah, and I'll start what I want to do as we move forward. I'll share some of the things that like I do, like paintings, or we'll do a session with Spanish. Ooh, maybe we can do that, like half of it, have a whole conversation in Spanish.
You mean hablan español? No,
Sí. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do want to do that. I think that would be fun. So yes, but we just really wanted to come back and just say, hey, we're back. We're going to get back into the routine. And I think it'll also be helpful as well as if we have you guys come in and kind of be a part of some of the conversations. I think I'm a private person, believe it or not. So I think some of them needs to be just amongst the family. But I think maybe we'll do a recap of the conversations. Yeah. So maybe, we'll have you guys come in and see what's going on. But that's it. I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
I have nothing.
We're just happy. Happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. I hope everybody likes it. I hope everybody is doing well. We love you guys. We're praying for everyone.